Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to part number 4 of this mini series. It looks as if there's going to be 7 parts to it rather than 5. Since you were last with us, I believe we finished off with that 2-1 victory over Cardiff. We then went and smashed Reading 5-0. We beat West Brom 2-1. We lost against Middlesbrough 2-1. Beat Rotherham 3-1. Beat Cardiff 1-0. Beat Wigan 2-1. Lost 2-1 against Burnley. Drew 0-0 with Stoke. Beat Luton 4-1. Then Millwall 3-1. Lost against Burnley 2-0, beat QPR 4-2, lost against Sheffield Wednesday 1-0, beat Reading 3-1, beat Birmingham 1-0, and in our last two drew 1-0 with Bristol City and defeated by Swansea 3-0. Now things have changed slightly. We're going to come back for this. We have only 3 games now in February. The Norwich, Blackburn and Hull games will all be shown. We're also going to probably show in the Coventry and Sunderland game as well. I have a nice little batch of games there, 5 games there, and then we will come back for the last 4, West Brom through to Rotherham. That is what we've decided on doing. The league table looks like this. We are third, 6 points behind Norwich, 5 points ahead of QPR, who are in 4th. Blackburn, who were top of the table at one point, I think they'd won like 11 games out of the first 15. Have only won 13. They were on a really poor run of form, dropped down to 14. It's a big game because we could close the gap on Norwich if we beat them today. It's going to be a really tough ask, I will say that. The defeat to Sheffield Wednesday was the FA Cup tie. We're not overly bothered by that, and we're going to look at the team because there's been a little bit happening. I will just show you that before we actually go through the team. I think there's just the one player that went out. 2 players, sorry. So Matty Virtue and Jake Beasley both went out on loan. Not the end of the world. It does weaken our side a little bit, but for the most part, we're still in a good place. The team for today's game is Maxwell in goal. The back 3 are Thornley, Ekpateta and Connolly. Garbett on the left, Gabriel on the right, Anderson, Dreyer and Stewart are the midfield trio, and Lavery and Yates playing up front. And just one more thing before we get into it. Shane Lavery's top goal scorer is 16. Jerry Yates has got 12. Gary Medine as the backup striker has 8. Keshi Anderson has 7. And then when you look at the assists, Luke Garbett has 14. Lawrence Gabriel has 9. So both wing-backs just absolutely smashing it. The fact that Lawrence Gabriel is only averaging a 6.76 is kind of surprising, considering him and Luke Garbett are just everywhere. Jerry Yates has got 6 assists to go with his 12 goals, and Matt Smith has got 4 assists and 2 goals in 15 starts, 14 substitute appearances, so 29 games for him. He has been a decent loan signing. We've brought him in nicely. Cameron Antwi has come back from his loan spell as well, so he's around the first team at the moment. As I say, the team against Norwich, we're at home. It's going to be a very difficult game, but one thing to say, we have been beating some of the more difficult teams and probably coming a little bit unstuck against teams that you'd expect us to beat. So let's get into the first game of the episode. I will say, when I did start this series, I was thinking about trying to show every game in this week period, but trying to split the 46 games between 5 days, obviously nearly 10 games a day, thought that was probably slightly overkill. Lavery gets the ball in, headed away by Robinson, and Cantwell can bring it away over halfway, looks for that through ball, but Ekpateta can cut it out. So yeah, I was looking at maybe showing clips of every single game, but that would have been a very long process. I think, like I say, probably 10 games an episode, and even at its shortest, I think you'd have been looking at maybe 25-minute episodes. I've tried, as a rule of thumb, try and keep each one of these episodes below 15 minutes. I think yes, this crept just over, but for the most part, trying to keep them below 15 minutes so they're quick and easy to watch. As that ball through, it's a mistake by the goalkeeper, and Bali Mumba opens the score in 36 minutes in. I'm not entirely sure, because as the ball went over there, I had no worries about anything. Cantwell gave the ball back to Robinson. He fires the ball into the gap, and I thought Maxwell was there to just deal with it, and he wasn't. Mumba just nipped it away from him. It was poor from the goalkeeper, and it is 1-0, and it's going to be 1-0 at half time as well by the look of it. And Norwich, for second in the table, are absolutely smashing us off the park. That's their only shot on target. Half time, Blackpool 0, Norwich 1. Gabriel looks at, throws short into Stewart, receives it back, tries to run down the right hand side, does get the cross in, and no one really attacked it. Going on the first bounce, collects it comfortably under no pressure, and he takes his time now to roll it out to Aarons on the right hand side. He can come forward, in forward to Leesmiles. Tallis looks at ball to Cantwell. It's cut out. Oh wait, it's fell to Cantwell, and that was surely a foul on our player. you can tell I'm very confused. Is Cantwell fires in the penalty, 2 shots on target, 2 goals, and how that was a penalty and not a foul on our defender, I will never know. But Cantwell makes the most of it, steps up, smashes the penalty in. It's 2-0, and we're going to start off this episode with a defeat, it looks like. And it looks as if we're going to open this episode with a defeat. It's kind of expected against a team that you would expect to go straight back up, but we played well for the most part. We just didn't have great attempts. 0.8 xg with 6 shots on target is very poor, considering they had 3 shots on target and had a 1.67 xg. No one really turned in a good performance, and we opened the episode with a 2-0 defeat. The Blackburn, the team that were top after about 15 games of the season, they looked like a really good side early on, and I mean, we smashed them in the earlier game. We saw that on camera, but it was one of their few defeats they had, but they fell away since then, and hopefully we can sort of end our little bit of poor form as well by getting a victory and getting ourselves back to winning ways. We don't want to drop too many points at this crucial stage of the season. As Drummond now back to Buckley, back to Drummond now. He goes over halfway, he's away from his man now to the second man, goes back to Buckley. Longstaff has come deep to collect it. Travis looks like ball over top. Dolan will get there. Will he square it across? He does for Ben Brereton Diaz to tap in at the far post. It's 1-0. It's a simply worked goal, and Ewood Park will be very happy with that. Somewhat of a local derby again. 2 Lancashire teams. Blackburn 1, Blackpool 0, and they'll look for a measure of revenge after the thumping that we gave them back at Bloomfield Road earlier on in the season. As Buckley now looks through for Brereton Diaz, Connolly will get there first, lays it back to Maxwell. Yates is missed out by Sarr. Longstaff goes back to Sarr again. Longstaff. Nice little triangles between the defenders and the defensive midfielder. Dolan out to Drama on the right hand side. Tries to look for the ball, gives it to Dolan. He turns his man, gets away from him, drives towards the byline, gets the cross in. Brereton Diaz taps in, and the two of them link up for the second time. 2 times in the space of 5 minutes. Dolan down the right, cross in, Brereton Diaz with a tap in at the far post, and it is so simple, but we just cannot cut it out. And that time there was a man on him, I think that's Curtis Davis there, no, it's Gabriel on him there, who just could not stop him from putting that ball into the back of the net. 2 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals. Such a disappointing start for us here, as Garby has a chance to redeem, and he hits the top of the bar. Still 2-0. Longstaff with the free kick towards the far post. Sarr gets up for the header. Travis is going to get there first. He goes infield to Sarr. Under a bit of pressure. Back to Travis on the left wing position. Infield to Sarr. Longstaff. Bit compact there, but Pickering has space. Looks forward and Thornley can cut that out. Gives it back to Maxwell, and hopefully we can just regroup. He looks long though, and so can deal with that comfortably. Into Travis. Pickering. Couple of one-touch passes. Gets them away. Brereton Diaz looks forward for Gallagher. Gallagher digs it over the goalkeeper. 3-0, and they have blew us away here in this opening 20 minutes or so. Brilliant passing. Clinical as anything. Blackburn 3, Blackpool 0. And this is a horrible start to this Thursday. As Longstaff puts that ball in, Gallagher heads it in. It's 4-0. And every time they hit the target, they score. And this is very disappointing here. Where do we go from here? 4-0 down. Free kick here, 35 yards out, centre goal. Bella will hit it, and he's hit the woodwork. It's the second time I think they've hit the woodwork in this game. And that should be that, as the time has now elapsed. 2 minutes stoppage time is gone. Should be the final whistle any second now. Sooner we can get out of Ewood Park and get home, the better, because this has been downright awful. Again, I mean, we've outdone them on the shots. Same on the amount of shots on target. They've just had four goals. 2 balls in from Dolan, where Brereton scored pretty much the same goal twice. Gallagher getting 2 after a setup from Brereton Diaz and 1 from Matty Longstaff. 4-0, disappointing. I don't know how Anderson and Smith have played 7.2s, but supposedly they have. And let's get into the next game, because we need to turn this run of form around right now. And it's been a goal here early, and it's Lavery at the far post from the corner kick, and making a habit here of scoring from corners quickly before I get to hit the record button. Garbutt with the corner in. It's flicked on by Davis, and Lavery has a simple job of tapping in at the far stick, and we're 1-0 up. We've started like an absolute train, and considering the results we've had previously, that is exactly what we need. As Longman now picks up the ball to Greaves on this near side. Looks down the field for Longman. Back to Greaves. Looks like ball over top. Ekpateta can deal with it. Davis now looks long, and Trusty can take it down. And Bogus. Bebe looks like the switch ball out to the left side of Longman. Longman now looks into the box. Chukwuemeka into Longman to Parrott, who taps it in and he's offside. And I believe we've played Hull before then looking at this, because Troy Parrott has haunted my dreams at least once during this patch of filming. They've also got, I believe that would be Carney Chukwuemeka, isn't it? It just says Chukwuemeka. Yeah, Carney Chukwuemeka from Aston Villa on loan. But it looks as if at half time we're going to go in 1 goal to the good. And he's headed in, and Trusty has got the goal. It's a simple header at the near post, and there's no one picking him up. There's nothing happened in this game. There's just been 2 corners pretty much, and goals from both of them. Header at the near post, keeper gets nowhere near it, and Hull get the equaliser with 22 minutes to play. Another corner kick, Garbutt with the ball in, Davis, and Ward is at the far post to tap in for his first goal of the season, and almost immediately after being pegged back, we go 2-1 in front. Corner whipped in by Garbutt. Curtis Davis got up at the near post. Great save by Baxter, but Ward had this job of just from the tight angle slotting it inside the post, and it's 2-1, 20 minutes to play. It's a 2-1 victory here. Lavery getting the opening goal, tapping in at the far post. Trusty with a near post header, but then 1 minute later Grant Ward had the job of just slotting into an empty net. It is 2-1. We return to winning ways, and let's hopefully start March as we've ended February in the victory column. And for the second time in this little series, we play Coventry on camera as that ball goes out to Gabriel on the right hand side. Can he get past Castillo? Gets the ball in, and it's headed in by Lavery. I didn't think he was going to be able to get that there. It's a cracking header from the big striker, and it's 1-0 4.5 minutes into the game. Ball out to Gabriel. He got there ahead of Castillo, got to the byline. He's pulled the cross back towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and Lavery gets up. It's a cracking header. It's 1-0, and I think, if I remember correctly, Coventry destroyed us earlier on in the season. They really ran right early on. Hopefully the early goal there can really change the momentum, and hopefully we can go on and do something from this game, as Van Heck really probably should have scored there. Glanced it across the goal, across the goalkeeper. No luck, as it just flashes wide. Still 1-0, 22 minutes now into this game. Ekpiteta now inside the centre circle, gives it to Ward, back to Connolly, the left centre back. Anderson now with the back to goal to Thornley, who has come on in that left wing back position. Both of our left wing backs got injured in this game, which is absolutely mental. Thornley, who can play at left back or at centre back, more than adequate to deal with this. Ball in by Lavery, headed away. Gabriel picks up on the other side. Can he put the ball in? Lavery's now getting into the box. Give it to Dreher. Back to Gabriel. Gets the cross in. Thornley's arriving, and the substitute, Jordan Thornley, gets his 6th goal of the season with an absolute bullet header coming in from deep, and has just thundered it past the goalkeeper. Brilliant work from Gabriel here. Pulls it back to Dreher. He gets it back, gets the cross in over everyone, and Thornley, what a run that is, and what a header. No stopping that. 2-0, half an hour to play. Allen with the corner kick puts it in. Van Heck, and it's kept out, and Hyam puts it in for his first goal of the season. Van Heck, I think it hit the woodwork, and Hyam just had a simple job at the far post of slotting in. Angle wasn't too tight for him, and as I said, Allen was at the heart of everything good that Coventry did when we met in the reverse fixture. His ball in there causing havoc in our defence, and it's 2-1, and Coventry have everything to play for here in the final 10 minutes, and we get back-to-back victories. It's a 2-1 victory, and we cement our place in 3rd place in the table. We're going to go to the dressing room. Nice work, everyone. That was good. It was, because we've been on such a poor run of form. To get back-to-back victories, we are 3rd. There is 8 games left. We have 9 points over, but we have 10 points over Millwall, who are in 7th place, so we're in a good position. We're not going to catch Sheffield United and Norwich. They're 10 points clear of us. Those 2 are going up automatically, but it looks as if we're in prime position to make the playoffs, and hopefully we can make it as the 3rd place team. O'Neill into Matete, into Pritchard, into Greenwood, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, fires it through the goalkeeper, and Sam Greenwood opens the scoring. Half an hour, and it's a great finish. Probably the keeper should have done better, but I think the power is done in there. As Sunderland come forward, Matete puts that ball into Pritchard, first time ball into Greenwood, good touch, and he gets his position all wrong, does Maxwell, and it allows Greenwood to just fire it past him. It is 1-0, half an hour in. Ball over the top, Greenwood, he's in behind, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, goes round the goalkeeper, and that is brilliant from Sam Greenwood. And we're getting to see both sides of our game here, because we aren't able to string passes together at all here. Ballard into Evans, into Pritchard. He fires the ball over the top. No one follows the run of Greenwood. Great from him. Just takes it wide of the goalkeeper. Maxwell just all out of sorts, and it's a simple tap into an empty net. 2 goals in 2 minutes. It's 2-0. Tete fires that ball down to Roberts. Can he get the cross in? He's got a lot of space. Does get the cross in. Davies nods it down to Husband. Fired up towards Yates. Lavery now looks for Yates, and Evans has just, for no reason, has just brought Yates down. He's been sent off inside 30 seconds of the second half started, and this is going to give us a chance now. We really didn't deserve to have anything out of this game as McKinstry runs for a great challenge from Curtis Davies. Dreyer. Curtis Davies, I'm not sure if anyone else thought he'd be a good signing, but he has been as Anderson, and point blank range, the keeper has made a great save, and it's still 2-0, but we are coming on strong here in the opening 5 minutes of the second half. Anderson, and this time Martin tips it over the bar, and that's 2 headers there. Anderson should have probably put 1 away. Martin's made 2 good saves as Dreyer puts the ball in. Thornley flicks the header on, it's across the face of goal, and it is still 2-0, but we are coming into this game massively now against the 10-man. Connolly now with the free kick, chips into Lavery in the inside left channel. He pulls it back. Thornley, and it's blocked, and it's fired in. Jordan Thornley gets his 7th of the season, and I thought it wasn't going to find its way over the line. Connolly just chips this ball into the channel for Lavery. It's really well worked. Turner pace past this man, fires it across. Thornley couldn't get it over the line. Taylor managed to block it, but then Thornley followed it and smashed it in from about 3 yards. It is 2-1, 25 minutes to play, and we need to keep on at them now because we're on top. Lovely little passenger payout to Husband on the left hand side. He gets towards the byline now. Can he pull the cross in? Pulls it back for Anderson. It's a bit of a poor ball, but he does well with it. Smith into Bowler, has a lot of space. He's got to try and get the cross in now. Pulls it back for Smith, who fires it in. Josh Bowler sets up Matthew Smith. The 2 substitutes combine. It's 2-2. There's 2 minutes to play, and maybe, just maybe, we can go on and get a winner here because we have 5 minutes of stoppage time. It is a 2-2 draw. We've come back after that sending off. It was really done well, and we created a lot of opportunities. We probably should have gone on to win it. We stay in 3rd place, and as I said before, we're going to come back for the final 4 games of the season tomorrow. That would have been the last episode, but it looks as if we're going to make the playoffs now. So we'll be back tomorrow for West Brom, Middlesbrough, Huddersfield and Rotherham, and then we'll be back Saturday night for, I might actually change it, we might come back Saturday afternoon, I think, for the playoff semi-final, and if we make it, we'll come back Sunday for the playoff final. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. We are 3rd, and we are very, very close to securing a playoff place in the championship for this season.